Alright y'all, thanks for watching. So I just picked up a new disc. It's the Lots Glide Skip. Not a disc I was familiar with, but I wanted to compare, do a little video on kind of Fairway Skip Disc reviews, starting with kind of the most popular and working my way down by speed. So I currently bag the Accurate Skip Sapphire. I just found the most utility out of it. I had the Accurate Skip PD in my bag for a while, but then the Sapphire came out and picked it up. I just love the extra distance that I get out of it. I'm very familiar with the Sapphire's flight path, so I use it a ton and got some pretty good ace lines with it. So I don't think it's going to be leaving my bag anytime soon, but this new Lots disc is pretty sweet. Again, not familiar with it, threw it a few times and liked what I saw. It is the Glide Skip, so maybe that's why it has a little more distance to it. It's not the Accurate Skip, and a lot of people are really sold on the Accurate feature, especially for discs you're using for throw-ins and accuracy. So I don't know if it's going to replace it. Maybe if I can get my hands on an Accurate Skip Lots, then I'll consider replacing it or even bagging it for a few days and see how it does. But anyways, let's start with the Sapphire, the one that I bag. This is a 10-speed. The Grace is a popular one. That's an 11-speed that a lot of people bag, but we'll start with the Sapphire since it's the one in my bag. Throw it a few times. We won't throw these a ton. We'll just throw them each a few times and give you an idea of the differences. So we'll put about a disc worth of anhyzer on these. You see the turn. Finish is real strong. Probably want to turn that a little more, but that's going to give us about 430, 440. Definitely get a little more distance out of it if you straighten it out a little bit, put a little more anhyzer, and get up in like the 450 range or so, as long as you get a good skip. But yeah, awesome disc. There's some awesome ace lines with this disc. And now that we can bag a few more discs, there's definitely room for a fairway skip. So definitely the one I would recommend if you got it, but there's lots of good options. Like I said, a lot of people bag this Grace, the Accurate Skip, a little more understable than the Sapphire, so it's going to turn quite a bit. This is just a straight back pull, but it does get really good distance. It is an 11-speed, so not quite the distance of the Sapphire though, and that's why I prefer the Sapphire, and I'm just more familiar with the flight path rather than the unstable flight path of the Grace. But it does, it is very straight. You can get very accurate with this disc, so I think that's why a lot of players really like it. I don't know if Ethan switched to the Sapphire or not, but he bagged the Accurate Grace for a long time, and he was making he could make all kinds of aces with that disc, so he might still have in his bag. This is the PD Accurate Skip that I talked about. I had this in my bag for a while until I got the Sapphire. I'm probably even more familiar with this line than I am the Sapphire, just because I love the beast. And I love this disc. I just needed a little more distance, and that's why I jumped to the Sapphire when I got it. But you can see not a huge difference in distance. I still got to 447. So, but you notice as you bag it and as you throw it on different holes that it just doesn't quite get the distance that the Sapphire does. On average, it's probably about 10 feet shorter than what the Sapphire does. There you go. That was the PD. Awesome looking disc too. A little watermelon. Musket Accurate Skip. I think there's still people that bag this one. It's just going to be a little bit shorter. Definitely understable. Similar to the Grace as far as the flight path. Finish is pretty strong still, but just as you can see, we're going to start losing distance as we go down in speed. And I find there's just more use to a fairway skip that has that 450 distance range versus these shorter ones. So maybe if some more bag slots open up eventually, then I can have another kind of fairway skip, a slower speed. I'd probably go with the Explorer or the River, one of those two, if that were the case. But just wanted to show you some of those options. And then this new one, the Lots, I just picked it up on, I can't even remember, level 39 or 38. whatever level I'm on in multiplayer. So this is the glide skip, so it's not accurate, and that's probably why I get the distance. But look at this flight path. I'm really liking it actually so far, and it covers the same amount of distance as the Sapphire. I mean, that's 451. That was about a disc worth of anhyzer. Let's throw it again, just a touch more. Try to straighten it out a little bit. So look at that. Nice flight path. Finished at 460. So, man, it might be worth throwing in my bag for a few days and just see how I do with it, because I'm liking what I see so far. That was a bit of a dead skip there. But, man, just a touch of anhyzer and let it fly. If they come out with an accurate skip of these, then I'm definitely going to give it a shot. But I might still throw it in the bag for a few days and see how I do, because I'm really liking it. But I don't want this video to be too long. We're just going to go down some of the other popular slower speeds. So this is the Pioneer accurate skip. You can see we're losing some distance. That's a 9-speed. Then we got the Bear. Not familiar with this disc, but it's a 8 speed. Pretty good flight path there, kind of neutral, but finishes nice and strong. Gets up there close to 400. And then, like I said, if I had another spot, I would throw the River or the Explorer. I'm not sure which one I'd prefer, but it would be nice to have this option. Look at that straight pullback with the River. I love the River. I love the flight path of the River, and it's just nice to have a skip disc of one that you're already really familiar with the flight path. So if I had a Skip River or a Skip Explorer, because I bag both those discs, then I feel like I could be pretty good with them. I just don't really have a need right now. It's not worth using the spot, I just don't have enough spots as far as having another skip disc. So the only 2 skip discs I have are the Glide Skip Rive and then the Accurate Skip Sapphire. And I don't think you need any more than 2 skips. I just think there's more utility in some of the other discs. But man, this disc, I'm telling you, if you get your hands on it, it's worth giving it a go. Throw it a few more times. Just for the end of this video. 452 right there. So there's my Sapphire. Let's throw it a couple more times. This is still what I'm gonna bag. I don't think I got a replacement quite yet, but I might have something pretty close. At least it's worth checking out. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Let me know what your Fairway skip disc of choice is. If it's not one of these, I'd love to find out what it is. Let me know what you throw and why. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential here. If I can find the accurate skip, I'm gonna try it out. But this glide skip is pretty nifty, and see if I can get some aces with it and take some more videos. But I got it on level 38 in multiplayer. I don't know if all the rewards are the same. I don't think they are, but it was a pretty nice pickup, and I was impressed with it. Hopefully you are too. And again, leave a comment. Let me know what fairway skip you prefer. And as always, guys, thanks for watching me play some DGV.